I was 26 years old when a complete stranger walked up to me at my engagement party and whispered 8 words that destroyed everything I thought I knew about my life. Your parents aren't who you think they are. My name is Emma Clarke, or at least, that's what I believed my name was. I grew up in Charleston, South Carolina, in a beautiful colonial house with white columns and magnolia trees in the yard. My parents, Richard and Patricia Clarke, were respected members of the community. Dad ran a successful insurance firm. Mom volunteered at the hospital. We were the picture-perfect American family. My fiancé, Jake Morrison, had proposed 3 months earlier on a beach in Hilton Head. It was everything I'd dreamed of. We'd been dating for 2 years, and he was my absolute rock. Smart, kind, successful in commercial real estate. Our engagement party was held at my parents' country club on a perfect Saturday evening in April. 200 guests, string quartet, champagne flowing. My mother had planned every detail. I was wearing a cream silk dress, my engagement ring catching the light every time I moved my hand. I'd spent the evening floating from group to group, accepting congratulations, posing for photos. My cheeks hurt from smiling. That's when she appeared. I was standing near the terrace doors, taking a breath of fresh air, when I felt someone touch my elbow. I turned to see a woman I'd never seen before. She was probably in her late 50s, with sharp gray eyes and silver hair pulled back in a tight bun. She wore a simple black dress. No jewelry, nothing that would make her stand out. But something about her face made my stomach tighten. "Emma Clarke?" she asked quietly. "Yes." I smiled, assuming she was someone's plus one I hadn't been introduced to yet. She leaned in close. Her breath smelled like mint. Her eyes locked onto mine with an intensity that made me freeze. "Your parents aren't who you think they are," she whispered. "Your real name is Olivia Reed. You were taken from your family 24 years ago. Check your birth certificate. The original one, not the one they gave you." Before I could respond, before I could even process what she'd said, she pressed something into my palm and walked away. She moved quickly through the crowd and disappeared out the main entrance before I could follow. My heart was hammering. My hand was shaking. I looked down at what she'd given me. A business card. White. Simple black text. Margaret Reed. Private investigator. And a phone number. I felt Jake's hand on my shoulder. You okay? You look like you've seen a ghost." I shoved the card into my clutch and forced a smile. "I'm fine. Just got a little dizzy for a second. Too much champagne." He kissed my forehead. "Want to sit down?" "No, I'm good." "Really?" But I wasn't good. My mind was racing. "Your parents aren't who you think they are. You were taken from your family. Olivia Reed." I spent the rest of the party in a daze. I smiled. I hugged people. I cut the engagement cake. But inside, I was screaming. Every time I looked at my parents across the room, laughing and chatting with guests, I felt sick. My dad caught my eye and raised his champagne glass with a proud smile. My mom blew me a kiss. They looked so normal, so loving. Were they lying to me? Had they been lying to me my entire life? The party ended around 11. Jake wanted to come back to my apartment, but I told him I had a migraine. He was disappointed, but understanding. He kissed me goodnight in the parking lot and made me promise to call him in the morning. I drove home in silence. My apartment was dark and quiet. I dropped my clutch on the kitchen counter, pulled out the business card, and stared at it for a full minute. Then I opened my laptop. I typed Olivia Reed, missing child, into Google. And my world shattered. The first result was a news article from the Charlotte Observer dated May 1999. 24 years ago. 2-year-old Olivia Reed missing after park disappearance. Family desperate for answers. I clicked it. My hands were trembling so badly, I could barely control the mouse. The article showed a photo of a little girl with curly blonde hair and bright blue eyes. She was smiling, holding a stuffed rabbit. The caption read, "Olivia Reed, age 2, last seen at Freedom Park in Charlotte, North Carolina." I stared at that photo. I stared at those eyes. They were my eyes. The article said Olivia had been at the park with her mother, Sarah Reed, and her older brother, Daniel. Sarah had turned away for less than a minute to help Daniel on the swings. When she looked back, Olivia was gone. No witnesses, no leads. The case went cold. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I kept scrolling. More articles, press conferences, age progression photos released over the years, showing what Olivia might look like at 5, at 10, at 16. The age 16 photo looked exactly like my high school junior year picture. I opened a new tab with shaking fingers. I searched Sarah Reed, Daniel Reed, Charlotte, North Carolina. The top result was a Facebook page. Sarah Reed, Charlotte, North Carolina. Profile picture. A woman in her early 50s with tired eyes and the same blonde hair I had. I clicked on her page. It was public. I scrolled through her posts. Most were about missing children advocacy. She ran a nonprofit called Bring Them Home. She posted every year on May 15th, the anniversary of Olivia's disappearance, with the same message. 24 years without you, Livy. Not a day goes by that I don't think of you. I will never stop looking. I will never stop hoping. Come home, baby. The most recent post was from 3 weeks ago. I started crying. Not soft tears. Ugly, gasping sobs that made my whole body shake. I looked at photos on her page. Pictures of her with a young man in his late 20s. Dark hair, kind smile. The caption said, "So proud of my son Daniel. 5 years sober. Your sister would be so proud too." I saw photos of family gatherings, an older couple who must have been grandparents, cousins, a whole family I'd never known existed, a family that had spent 24 years searching for me. I looked at the time, 12:47 a.m. Too late to call anyone. Too late to do anything except spiral. I went to my bedroom closet and pulled down a box from the top shelf. It was full of old documents my parents had given me when I turned 18. Social Security card, immunization records, school transcripts, and my birth certificate. I unfolded it with shaking hands. Emma Louise Clarke, born April 18, 1997. Charleston, South Carolina. Mother, Patricia and Clarke. Father, Richard James Clarke. It looked official. State seal, signatures, everything. But that woman, Margaret Reed, had said to find the original one, not the one they gave me, which meant this was fake. I sat on my bedroom floor, surrounded by papers, crying until I had no tears left. At 3 a.m., I made a decision. I grabbed my phone and texted Jake. "Can you come over tomorrow morning? Early. I need to tell you something. Please don't ask questions yet. Just come." He responded within 30 seconds. "I'll be there at 8. Are you okay?" "No, but I will be. I love you. I love you too. See you soon." Then I pulled up Margaret Reed's contact card and typed out an email. "My name is Emma Clarke. You approached me tonight at my engagement party. I need to know everything. Please call me tomorrow." I hit send. Then I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, watching the shadows shift as the night crawled toward morning. Everything I knew was a lie. My name, my family, my entire identity. And tomorrow, I was going to start finding out the truth. My phone rang at 7:32 a.m. Unknown number. I answered on the first ring. "Emma Clarke?" The voice was calm, professional. The same woman from last night. "Yes. Is this Margaret Reed?" "It is. Thank you for reaching out." I know last night was a shock. I'm sorry I had to approach you that way, but I've been trying to find you for 3 years. My throat was tight. Tell me everything. Not over the phone. Can you meet me this morning? There's a coffee shop called Brewed Awakening on King Street. 9 a.m. Come alone. I'm bringing my fiancé. A pause. Emma, your parents don't know I've contacted you. If you tell anyone before we meet, he's not anyone. He's the person I trust most in this world. If you want me to hear what you have to say, he's coming. Another pause. Then, fine. 9 a.m. Don't be late. She hung up. Jake arrived at 8:15 with coffee and bagels. He took one look at my face and set everything down. What's going on? You're scaring me. I handed him my laptop. Read. He sat on the couch and started scrolling through the articles I'd left open. I watched his face change. Confusion. Shock. Disbelief. This is. I don't understand. This little girl looks exactly like you, but... Keep reading. He kept scrolling. He clicked on Sarah Reed's Facebook page. He stared at the anniversary posts. He looked at Daniel's photos. Then he looked up at me, his face pale. You think you're this Olivia Reed? I don't think. I know. Look at the dates. Olivia disappeared in May 1999. She was 2 years old. I turned 2 years old in April 1999. My first memory is from when I was around 3. I don't remember anything before that. My parents always said I was just too young. But what if I don't remember because I was with a different family? Jake's hands were shaking now. Emma, this is insane. Your parents. They're not kidnappers. They're what? Good people? That's what I thought too. But a private investigator tracked me down. She told me my real name. And when I looked it up, everything fit. I pulled out my birth certificate. This is fake, Jake. It has to be. He stared at it. Then at me. What do you want to do? I'm meeting her. The investigator. At 9. Will you come with me? He didn't hesitate. Of course. We walked into Brewed Awakening at exactly 9 a.m. Margaret Reed was already there, sitting in a back corner booth with a leather briefcase on the table. She looked up when we entered. Her expression didn't change. We sat down across from her. I was shaking. Jake took my hand under the table. Thank you for coming, Margaret said quietly. She pulled a thick file folder from her briefcase and set it on the table. Before I show you this, I need you to understand something. What I'm about to tell you will change your life. Once you know, you can't unknow. Are you ready? I nodded. I couldn't speak. Margaret opened the folder. The first thing I saw was a photo of me as a toddler, the same one from the news article. Me with the stuffed rabbit. Your name is Olivia Marie Reed. You were born on April 18th, 1997, in Charlotte, North Carolina. Your mother is Sarah Reed, a nurse. Your father was Thomas Reed. He died in a car accident in 2003. Your older brother is Daniel Reed, now 29 years old. On May 15th, 1999, you disappeared from Freedom Park in Charlotte. Your mother turned her back for less than 60 seconds. When she turned around, you were gone. Tears were streaming down my face. Jake's grip on my hand tightened. Margaret continued. The police investigated. There were no witnesses. No surveillance footage. The case went cold within 6 months. Your family never gave up. Your mother founded a nonprofit to help other families of missing children. She spent every cent she had on private investigators, search teams, age progression photos. For 24 years, she's been looking for you. How did you find me? My voice was barely a whisper. Margaret pulled out another photo. This one was recent. It was me, walking out of the marketing firm where I worked in downtown Charleston. I hadn't known anyone was watching me. Daniel hired me 3 years ago. He'd just gotten out of rehab. He told me he'd spent years spiraling because of guilt over losing you. He wanted closure for his mother. He wanted to find you, alive or dead. She tapped the photo. I used age progression software, cross-referenced with social media, searched for young women in the Southeast who matched Olivia's physical profile. It took 2 years, but when I found your photo on your company's website, I knew immediately. You're an exact match. She pulled out a comparison sheet. My face side by side with the age progression images. The resemblance was undeniable. But that's not proof. Jake said, his voice tight. Plenty of people look alike. You're right. Margaret pulled out another document, which is why I did more digging. I looked into Richard and Patricia Clarke. They moved to Charleston in late 1999. Richard started his insurance business in January 2000. Before that, there's almost no record of them. No marriage license from South Carolina. No hospital birth record for Emma Clarke. Their past essentially starts in 1999. My stomach dropped. I requested their financial records. Legally, for my investigation. In June 1999, 1 month after Olivia's disappearance, Patricia Clarke made a cash deposit of $15,000. Then another $10,000 in August. No clear source. And in their safe deposit box at First National Bank, they keep something very interesting. She pulled out a photocopy of a document. My breath caught. It was a birth certificate. Olivia Marie Reed, born April 18, 1997, Charlotte, North Carolina. Mother, Sarah Elizabeth Reed. Father, Thomas Andrew Reed. How did you get this? I whispered. I have contacts. That's all I'll say. This is the original, the real one. The one Richard and Patricia Clarke have been hiding for 24 years. I couldn't breathe. Jake put his arm around me. They stole me, I said. They kidnapped me. Yes. Why? Why would they do that? Margaret's expression softened. I don't know. That's something you'll have to ask them. But Emma, or Olivia, whatever name you choose, your biological mother is still alive. She's still looking for you. Your brother is still hoping. You have a family that never stopped loving you. I was sobbing now. Full, body-shaking sobs. Jake held me while I fell apart. Margaret slid a piece of paper across the table. This is Sarah Reed's phone number. And Daniel's. When you're ready, you can call them. Or I can arrange a meeting. Whatever you need. I looked at the numbers. My hands were trembling. What should I do? I looked at Jake desperately. He wiped tears from my face. Whatever you want. I'm with you, no matter what. I looked at Margaret. I need proof. DNA proof. I need to be 100% sure before I blow up my entire life. Margaret nodded. I can arrange that. Sarah and Daniel have both submitted DNA to missing persons databases. If you take a test, we'll know within a week. Then that's what I want. And your parents? Richard and Patricia? What do you want to do about them? I felt rage boiling in my chest. Hot. Vicious. Nothing. Not yet. I'm going to get the DNA results. And then I'm going to confront them with everything. I want to see their faces when they realize I know. Margaret nodded. Be careful. If they did this once, they're capable of anything. The DNA test took 7 minutes. A cheek swab at a private lab Margaret recommended. They said results would take 5 to 7 business days. Every minute of waiting felt like a year. I went through the motions of normal life like a zombie. I went to work. I smiled at my parents when they called. I kissed Jake goodnight, but inside, I was screaming. Jake wanted me to move in with him until the results came back. I don't trust them, he said. If they really did this, you're not safe. But I refused. If I suddenly disappear, they'll know something's wrong. I have to act normal. So I did. I had dinner with my parents on Wednesday night. Mom made lasagna. Dad asked about wedding plans. I sat across from them and smiled and lied. The whole time, I kept thinking, who are you? What did you do? On Thursday, I called in sick to work. I couldn't focus. I spent the day going through every photo album in my apartment, looking for clues. Baby pictures. First day of school. Birthday parties. There were no photos of me before age 3. I called my mom. Hey, quick question. Do we have any baby pictures of me? Like, really early ones? She laughed. Oh, honey, we lost most of those in a flood back in 2001. Remember? The basement flooded and ruined a bunch of boxes. It broke my heart. A flood. How convenient. Right. I forgot. Thanks, Mom. I hung up and threw my phone across the room. Jake came over that night with Thai food. I couldn't eat. I sat on the couch, staring at Sarah Reed's Facebook page, reading every post she'd ever made about Olivia. One post from 2015 said, Livy would be 18 today. I wonder if she's in college. I wonder if she's happy. I wonder if she even remembers me. I started crying again. She does remember you, I whispered at the screen. She just didn't know. The email came on Monday morning at 10:47 a.m. I was at work, sitting in a conference room, pretending to listen to a presentation about Q2 marketing strategies. My phone buzzed. I looked down. DNA results available. I stood up so fast my chair screeched. Everyone looked at me. I'm sorry. I have to go. Family emergency. I didn't wait for a response. I grabbed my bag and ran out of the building. I sat in my car in the parking garage, hands shaking so badly I could barely unlock my phone. I opened the email, clicked the link, entered my password, and there it was. DNA match confirmed. Probability of relationship, 99.97%. Subject is biological child of Sarah Elizabeth Reed and Thomas Andrew Reed. Subject is biological sibling of Daniel Thomas Reed. I screamed. I actually screamed. A guttural, raw sound that echoed off the concrete walls. I was Olivia Reed. I had been stolen. I called Jake. He answered immediately. It's confirmed. I'm her. I'm Olivia Reed. They took me. They stole me. Where are you? Parking garage. My office. Stay there. I'm coming. He was there in 15 minutes. He held me while I fell apart again. When I could finally breathe, I pulled out my phone. I'm calling her. Sarah. My mom. Jake nodded. Do it. I dialed the number Margaret had given me. It rang twice. Then a woman's voice, soft and cautious. Hello? I couldn't speak. My throat closed up. Hello? Who is this? Sarah Reed? I finally managed. Yes. Who's calling? I closed my eyes. My name is Emma Clarke. But I think my real name is Olivia. Silence. Complete, deafening silence. Then a sound I'll never forget. A sob. A gasp. A sound like a soul breaking open. Olivia? Is it really you? Yes. It's me. I just got DNA confirmation. I'm your daughter. She was crying so hard, she couldn't speak. I heard her drop the phone. I heard her scream, Daniel, come here. Oh my God, Daniel. A man's voice. Mom, what's wrong? It's her. It's Livy. She's on the phone. More sounds, scrambling. Then a different voice. Male, shaking. Olivia? Daniel? Oh my God. Oh my God. It's really you. We all cried together over the phone for 10 minutes straight. No words, just sobs and gasps and the sound of 24 years of grief pouring out. Finally, Sarah came back on. Where are you? Can we see you? Please, I need to see you. I'm in Charleston, South Carolina. I'll drive there right now. I'll leave in 5 minutes. Wait. There's something I have to do first. The people who took me, Richard and Patricia Clarke, they're still here. They still think I don't know. I need to confront them. Olivia, no. That's dangerous. Let the police handle it. I need to do this. I need to hear them say it. Daniel's voice came on. Then we're coming with you. You're not doing this alone. Okay, but not yet. I need to plan this right. Can you be here by Friday? We'll be there Thursday night. Okay, I'll text you the address of my apartment. Olivia? Sarah's voice cracked. I love you. I never stopped loving you. I was crying again. I love you too. I don't remember you, but I feel it. I feel like I've been missing you my whole life. You have been. And now you're coming home. I spent the next 3 days planning. Jake helped. So did Margaret Reed, who offered her services pro bono to help me gather evidence. We decided on a family dinner. Friday night. I told my parents I wanted to celebrate my engagement with just the 4 of us. Intimate. Special. They were thrilled. I asked to have it at their house. They agreed. What they didn't know was that Sarah and Daniel would be waiting outside. That I'd be recording everything. That this dinner wasn't a celebration. It was a reckoning. Friday came too fast and not fast enough. I met Sarah and Daniel at a hotel near the Charleston airport Thursday night. When I walked into that hotel lobby and saw them standing there, I froze. Sarah looked exactly like her photos. Blonde hair, tired but kind eyes. She was shaking. When she saw me, she let out a sound that was half sob, half laugh. Olivia. She didn't run. She walked slowly, like she was afraid I'd disappear if she moved too fast. I met her halfway. When she hugged me, something inside me broke open. I didn't remember her. I didn't remember her voice or her smell or anything. But my body remembered. Some deep, buried part of me recognized her. I sobbed into her shoulder. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't remember you. It's okay, baby. It's okay. You were so little. But you're here now. You're here. Daniel wrapped his arms around both of us. He was tall, broad-shouldered, with dark hair and eyes red from crying. I'm so sorry, Livy. I turned away. I let them take you. I've hated myself for 24 years. I pulled back and looked at him. You were 5 years old. It wasn't your fault. I know, but it doesn't feel that way. We sat in the hotel lobby for 2 hours. They told me stories. About my favorite stuffed rabbit, Mr. Hoppy. About how I used to sing made-up songs. About my dad, Thomas, who died never knowing what happened to me. They showed me photos and videos on their phones. Baby Olivia laughing. Toddler Olivia chasing Daniel around a backyard. I cried through all of it. But then I told them the plan for tomorrow night. Sarah didn't like it. Let the police handle it, Olivia. These people are criminals. I need to hear them say it. I need to look them in the eyes and watch them admit what they did. If I don't, I'll never have closure. Daniel understood. Then we're coming with you. No, you'll wait outside. I'm bringing Jake. He'll be with me the whole time. And I'll have my phone recording in my pocket. If anything goes wrong, I'll call you. Sarah grabbed my hands. Promise me you'll be careful. I promise. Friday evening, 6 p.m. I pulled up to my parents' house with Jake in the passenger seat. The white Colonial looked the same as always. Warm lights in the windows. The magnolia tree in full bloom. But now it felt like a crime scene. Jake squeezed my hand. You can still back out. No, I can't. I pressed record on the voice memo app on my phone and slipped it into the pocket of my cardigan. We walked up to the front door. I didn't knock. I used my key. Mom? Dad? We're here. Mom appeared from the kitchen, wearing an apron and a bright smile. "There's my girl." "And Jake, honey, come in, come in. Dinner's almost ready." Dad came down the stairs, grinning. "Perfect timing. I just opened a bottle of that wine you like, Emma." Emma. That name felt like poison now. We sat down at the dining room table. Mom brought out roast chicken, mashed potatoes, green beans. Everything looked perfect. Everything looked normal. I couldn't eat. My stomach was a knot of rage and nausea. "So," Dad said, cutting into his chicken, "have you two set a date yet?" Jake glanced at me. I nodded slightly. "Actually," I said, my voice steady, "there's something I need to talk to you both about first." Mom looked up, concerned. "What is it, sweetheart?" I reached into my bag and pulled out a folder. The one Margaret Reed had given me. I set it on the table. "I need to ask you something. And I need you to tell me the truth." Dad's smile faltered. "Emma, what's going on?" I opened the folder, pulled out the first photo. The one of 2-year-old Olivia Reed, holding Mr. Hoppy. I slid it across the table. "Who is this?" The room went silent. Dead silent. Mom stared at the photo. Her face went pale. Dad's fork clattered onto his plate. "Emma, where did you get that?" Mom's voice was shaking. "Answer the question. Who is this little girl?" I don't know. I've never seen this photo before." "Really?" "Because this is Olivia Marie Reed. She was kidnapped from Freedom Park in Charlotte, North Carolina, on May 15th, 1999. She was 2 years old. She was never found." Mom's hand flew to her mouth. Dad stood up. "Emma, stop this right now. I don't know what kind of game you're playing, but it's not a game." I slammed my hand on the table. Jake put a steadying hand on my back. "This little girl is me. I am Olivia Reed. And you stole me. That's insane." Dad's voice was hard now. Defensive. "You're our daughter. You were born in Charleston. You're Emma Clarke." I pulled out the DNA test results, slid them across the table. "DNA doesn't lie. I took a test. I matched with Sarah Reed and Daniel Reed. My real mother and my real brother. The family you took me from." Mom started crying. But they weren't tears of sadness. They were tears of panic. "Emma, please. You don't understand." "Then make me understand," I shouted. "Tell me the truth. Tell me why you stole a child. Tell me why you've been lying to me for 24 years. Dad tried to grab the papers. I pulled them back. "Don't touch those." He stared at me. For the first time in my life, I saw fear in his eyes. "We didn't steal you," he said quietly. "We saved you." I laughed. A bitter, broken sound. "Saved me? From what?" "From a bad situation. Your real mother was unstable. We saw her at the park that day. She was screaming at you. At your brother. She was neglectful. You were dirty, bruised. We watched her turn her back on you, completely ignoring you while you wandered toward the road. We intervened. We took you somewhere safe." I felt like I'd been punched in the chest. "You're lying." "We're not." Mom's voice was desperate now. "Emma, we gave you a better life. We loved you. We gave you everything. You gave me nothing." I screamed. "You took me from my real mother. She spent 24 years searching for me. My brother went to rehab because of the guilt. My father died never knowing what happened to me. You destroyed an entire family. We saved you," Dad repeated, but his voice cracked. I pulled out the financial records. "Is that why you deposited $15,000 in cash a month after I disappeared? Were you paid to save me?" Mom's face went white. I kept going. "Is that why you have my real birth certificate locked in a safe deposit box? Is that why you have no records before 1999? You didn't save me. You trafficked me." "Stop it." Mom was sobbing now. "Stop it, Emma, please. My name is not Emma. I stood up. My name is Olivia. Olivia Marie Reed. And you're going to admit what you did. Dad's face hardened. We did what we thought was right. We gave you a good life. We don't owe you anything. That's when I pulled out my phone and held it up. The recording app was still running. Say that again, for the record. Dad's face went purple with rage. You're recording this? Every word. And when I walk out of here, I'm going straight to the police. And then I'm going to my real family. The one you stole me from. Mom lunged forward and grabbed my wrist. Emma, please. You're our daughter. Don't do this to us. I ripped my hand away. I was never your daughter. I was your victim. Jake stood up. We're leaving. Dad blocked the doorway. You're not going anywhere. Jake stepped in front of me. Move. Now. For a moment, I thought Dad might actually try to stop us. But then his shoulders sagged. The fight went out of him. If you do this, he said quietly, you'll destroy us. Good, I said. You destroyed me first. We walked out. I didn't look back. Sarah and Daniel were waiting in Daniel's car 3 houses down. When they saw me, they jumped out. Sarah ran toward me, her face desperate with worry. Are you okay? What happened? I held up my phone. I got everything. A full confession. They admitted they took me. They tried to justify it, but they admitted it. Sarah pulled me into her arms. I buried my face in her shoulder and finally let myself break. Not the controlled crying I'd done in front of Richard and Patricia. This was raw, guttural. 24 years of stolen time pouring out of me. Daniel put his hand on my back. You're safe now, Livy. You're safe. Jake called the police while we stood there in the dark. He explained everything. 2 officers arrived within 15 minutes. I gave them my phone with the recording. I gave them the DNA results. I gave them Margaret Reed's full investigation file. They went into the house. Richard and Patricia Clarke were arrested at 8:47 p.m. on charges of kidnapping, child trafficking, fraud, and identity falsification. I watched from Daniel's car as they were let out in handcuffs. My mother, no, Patricia, was sobbing. Richard's face was stone. When he saw me watching, he stopped. Our eyes met. He mouthed 2 words. I'm sorry. I looked away. The next 3 months were chaos. The story went national. Missing girl found after 24 years living with kidnappers. My face was on every news channel. Reporters camped outside my apartment. I had to take a leave of absence from work. The police investigation uncovered everything. Richard and Patricia Clarke weren't even their real names. They were Robert and Patricia Dawson from Virginia. Patricia had a history of fertility issues. She'd suffered multiple miscarriages and a stillbirth. She'd become obsessed with having a child. Robert had hired someone to find them a toddler, a black market adoption broker. They'd paid $25,000 for me. The broker had been watching Freedom Park for weeks, looking for targets. When Sarah turned her back, he grabbed me, drugged me, and handed me over. The broker was arrested in Florida 2 weeks later. He gave up 6 other families he'd arranged illegal adoptions for. The FBI opened a task force. Richard and Patricia both pled guilty to avoid trial. Richard got 18 years. Patricia got 15. Their lawyer tried to argue that they'd given me a good life, that they'd loved me. The judge called it a grotesque rationalization of child trafficking. I didn't attend the sentencing. I didn't want to see them ever again. Adjusting to my real family was strange. Beautiful, but strange. Sarah didn't push me to call her mom. She said, "Take your time. I'm just grateful you're here." But one night, about 6 weeks after everything happened, I was at her house in Charlotte. We were looking through old photo albums. Photos of me as a baby. Photos of my dad, Thomas, holding me. Photos of Daniel and me playing in a sandbox. I wish I remembered this, I said quietly. Sarah squeezed my hand. You are too young. But we can make new memories. We have time now. I looked at her. This woman who'd spent 24 years searching. Who'd never given up. Who'd loved me even when she didn't know if I was alive. Mom, I said. The word felt strange on my tongue, but also right. She started crying. Yeah, baby? Thank you for never giving up on me. She pulled me into her arms. I never will. Not ever. Daniel and I bonded over music. Turns out we both loved classic rock. He played guitar. He taught me some chords. We'd sit in Sarah's living room, playing badly and laughing. One night, he said, I'm sorry I couldn't protect you. Danny, you were 5. I know, but I still feel like I failed you. I put down the guitar and looked at him. You didn't fail me. You survived. You got sober. You hired Margaret to find me. You brought me home. You saved me. He cried. We both did. Jake and I postponed the wedding. Not because we didn't love each other, but because I needed time to figure out who I was. Emma Clarke had been engaged, but Olivia Reed wasn't sure who she wanted to be yet. I'm not going anywhere, Jake promised. Whenever you're ready. 1 year, 5 years, 10, I'll be here. You're too good for me. No, you're exactly who I want. Olivia, Emma, whoever you decide to be. I love all of you. 8 months after the arrests, I legally changed my name back to Olivia Marie Reed. I kept Clarke as a middle name, not to honor Richard and Patricia, but because Emma Clarke had existed. She'd had friends, a career, memories. I didn't want to erase her. I wanted to integrate her. I am Olivia Marie Reed Clarke, daughter of Sarah Reed, sister of Daniel Reed, survivor. It's been a year now. I'm 27. I work remotely for a nonprofit that helps reunite missing children with their families. Sarah and I run Bring Them Home together. Daniel sponsors other people in recovery, and he volunteers with us. I still have nightmares sometimes, dreams where I'm back in that house with Richard and Patricia. Dreams where I wake up and Sarah and Daniel are gone again. But then I wake up for real, and I'm in my apartment in Charlotte, 10 minutes from my mom's house. And I'm safe. A few weeks ago, Jake asked me again. Not with a ring or a big proposal. We were cooking dinner together, and he said, "Do you think you'll ever be ready to marry me?" I looked at him. This man who'd stood by me through the worst year of my life. Who'd held me while I fell apart. Who'd helped me find myself. Yes, I think I'm ready now. He smiled. Yeah? Yeah. We're getting married next spring. Small ceremony, just family and close friends. Sarah's going to walk me down the aisle. Daniel's going to be Jake's best man. And somewhere in prison, Richard and Patricia will hear about it, and they'll know that they didn't break me. They tried to steal my life. But I took it back. I don't forgive them. I don't think I ever will. But I'm not angry anymore. I'm just grateful. Grateful that Sarah never gave up. Grateful that Daniel kept hoping. Grateful that Margaret Reed believed a 2-year-old case could be solved. Grateful that a stranger at an engagement party had the courage to tell me the truth. My name is Olivia Marie Reed Clarke. I was taken when I was 2. I was lied to for 24 years. But I'm home now. And I'm never letting go. If you've ever felt like you don't know who you really are, trust your instincts. Ask questions. Demand answers. The truth might hurt, but lies hurt more. And to anyone who's missing someone, don't give up. Miracles happen. Families heal. Love endures. Thank you for listening to my story. If this resonated with you, please share it. You never know whose life it might change. Take care of yourselves, and hold your loved ones close.